The Darien Athletic Foundation is proud to present high school boys soccer this afternoon from the campus of Darien High School. It's the Darien Blue Wave versus the New Canaan Rams. Hi, everybody. I'm Damian Andrew. Welcome into our DAF media broadcast. It is an absolute pleasure to have you with us on this live stream. This afternoon, I am joined by former Blue Wave soccer star Jonathan Gill, class of 2013, and from New Canaan, Nick Williams, the second selectman of New Canaan, I might add. Guys, there are rivalries, and then there are rivalries, and then there's Darien and New Canaan. Great rivalry between these two programs this afternoon.
Yeah, Damien, I'm really looking forward to it. Blue Wave coming off a great win at Staples, 1-0, a real clutch victory, and so seems like they've really started to turn their season around. I think they're playing a team, New Canaan, that they can definitely beat, but if I know one thing about Darien and New Canaan, it's that both teams are going to be fighting hard. And I'm expecting some good soccer, some goals. Damien, I've been here for 2 games, combined 12 goals I've seen. So I think I'm a good luck charm. We're going to look for more.
Well, New Canaan, Darien, it doesn't matter what sport, what their records are. It's a derby, and you know, if you win this game, it makes your season.
Yeah, this is one of those matchups, an FCIAC rivalry, probably the best rivalry in the state of Connecticut in all sports, not just high school boys soccer. A lot of these kids know each other off the pitch, as you know, Jonathan, having played in this rivalry before.
Yeah, I played with a lot of the kids before we got to high school at the club level. A lot of good feelings went out of the way, though, when we played each other in high school. It was always a tough game. Very back and forth, and 2 historically good programs, especially in recent years. So, hoping to see some good quality out here. I think both having a little bit of an off season, but as you said, it does come down to this game for a lot of people.
And what's interesting is both teams are coming off a win.
Yes.
Because New Canaan beat Brian McMahon for their 2nd win of the season. You guys had a big win against Staples, really an upset, and so that's unusual.
Yeah, Darien coming off its first win of the season, as you mentioned, Nick. 1-0 win over Staples.
There it is.
Wow. Oh. As you can tell through our mics, a windy afternoon here at the Oval on the campus of Darien High School.
Damien, I think it's been windy every time I've been here.
I think it has been. Every
So,
time you've been on these broadcasts, Jonathan, it has been windy.
So that effort there was number 26, Alex Sarikos, who is the New Canaan striker who played for Westchester FC, the academy, and decided to come back to high school because he wanted to play with his friends for his senior year. So that's really New Canaan's. That's their strategy here, is to get the ball to 2-6. And there he goes.
That's a great save and a fantastic turn. I'm already seeing that is a lot of quality it takes to make that turn. Unlucky with the finish. Very interesting that we're seeing a player come back from the academy system into high school soccer. I mentioned to Damien last game, for those who don't know, that high school soccer, a lot of the talent was taken away due to the fact that the very good players, their clubs, basically instructed them that they couldn't play high school soccer. So I think it's great that a high quality player is stepping out of that system and coming back with his friends for his senior year, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of good quality out of him today.
I think you're going to see more of that in the FCIAC, based upon what I'm hearing. Is a lot of kids just miss that the camaraderie that you have, that you can only get with a high school team and folks you've been playing with your whole life.
Yeah, wow, and a barrage of attacks from New Canaan already to start. This is not looking good for Darien. Great quality from the Rams, both through the middle and out wide. And yeah, that is great to hear, because I remember it was a pretty big deal for high school soccer. It really lowered the quality. So if the kids are coming back, it's just going to make it that much better. And I do agree with you. I don't think there's much like playing high school soccer in terms of the camaraderie, the friendship, the chemistry, and also the pride you have in your team.
New Canaan in red, moving from right to left. Darien in white, moving from left to right. We are just underway here from the campus of Darien High School. The Rams of New Canaan taking on the Darien Blue Wave. And Nick, as you mentioned at the outset, both teams coming off wins, so trying to string together 2 in a row here this afternoon for one of these teams.
It'll be interesting because, you know, both teams have probably packed it in quite a bit during the season, playing the counter, which makes sense. I know the New Canaan Rams defense has been under pressure a lot. Back line, we've got junior keeper Jack Richardson, who's made some phenomenal saves during the course of the year, and the back line's been strong. We'll see what happens today.
This is a Darien team that has seen its lineup shuffled throughout the season. Right now starting 5 sophomores, 3 seniors, and 3 juniors. So a young lineup out there for head coach John Bradley.
The New Canaan lineup is a good mixture of seniors, juniors, and one sophomore typically makes the field.
The best thing about sophomores, you've got them as juniors and seniors, 2 more years.
It's Wes Farley, center back, senior.
New Canaan on the attack, chips it into the box.
Just a little long.
Very nice idea, though.
Darien's keeper, of course, the senior, David Voles. Jonathan, on our last broadcast, we spoke a lot about him. He is the quarterback.
I thought he was great, even though they conceded 4 goals that game that I was there, but they were playing, you know, to be frank, a much better team, and I thought he did great. I thought he had great command over his box. I talked to John Bradley after. He loved the center backs as well, so that's I think Charlie Sears, Tripatelli, although I think he's playing a little further forward this game. So Darien's got some solid defense. I just think the attack needs to be a little more dynamic. But right now, it definitely looks like New Canaan's in the front foot. And a lot of space in the midfield. You just can't have this. I mean, you see the 4 defenders, and they're all alone for Darien. 0 midfielders tracking back right now. So Darien, and you can see John Bradley talking about the spacing over there on the sidelines. He does not look happy. New Canaan definitely on the front foot right now.
So joining Zarikos up top is Cole Kammer, number 11. He's a senior and was a former football player. Decided to come back to soccer. Started with soccer, went to football, and said, I'm back to soccer.
Was he a football kicker? Or?
No, he was a,
there we go.
A receiver. He's got good size.
I can see that, yeah. Always tough to play against these real athletes. That's a great turn.
That's great turn.
Oh. Well, that's a very smart idea from Max Marson. Unlucky.
It's pretty windy here, but I don't see an advantage for either team.
Well, the wind is blowing right into us.
Yeah, well, that was the same thing as last game. John was saying that the wind is blowing side to side rather than in a certain direction of the field. What that means for us, Damien, is that it's just smacking our face, which is
probably out of the southeast, but really, if anything, it's probably helping New Canaan a little bit.
Of course, this rivalry played out on the girls' soccer pitch yesterday at Connor Field. New Canaan and Darien playing to a 0-0 draw.
Oh no, seriously? Wow. Well, this game looks like there are going to be some goals, Damien, I have to say.
The throw in here, Connor Olson, number 7 for the Blue Wave.
So New Canaan lost a heartbreaker to Ludlow, basically because they had a left back who could throw the ball. Throw-ins, take 35 to 40-yard throw-ins. They scored 2 goals on throw-ins, including the second one, which was 19 seconds remaining in the match.
Damien, I always have to talk with you about set pieces in high school soccer, and it's really, I mean, it just matters so much, even, you know, more than in other levels of soccer that I've seen. And so something like a long throw can be a really dangerous weapon.
It seems like Ludlow always has that every year. I think they recruit long throwers.
John, let me ask you, you played in this rivalry. It is a special rivalry. A little easier to get up for than
absolutely.
other FCIAC games?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's, you know, and especially for these two teams as well. Both of their records aren't great. Doesn't look like the playoffs are a possibility. And so for them, this match can define their season for better or for worse. And so I think that this is just about as easy as they come to get up for. But as I said, Damien, when I was playing Buchanan, we actually had a lot on the line. We had some playoffs on the line. We played them in state cup once. And I played with a lot of players who I played with when I was younger on the same team as in our youth system, our club teams, our academy teams, and there was no love lost between us. I mean, it was really brutal out there, and so we're expecting the same. But yeah, Nick, as you're saying, I mean, this game just doesn't get more important than this, especially for these two teams right now. I mean, really a season definer.
There is technically a chance for New Canaan to go forward to the FCIAC tournament. As you guys know, you need a 40% winning record. So you have to have 40% of wins of total games. Ties don't really help you. If New Canaan were to win out, they would make the tournament.
So how many games are left? Is it 4?
This is there's 16 games. I think this is the 12th game.
Yeah. And how does their schedule look? I'm actually not in the know here.
It's mixed. Some games they have a legitimate shot of winning, and I think a couple that are a little bit tougher.
How big was that win over McMahon the other day, earlier in the week? 1-0 win at Connor Field. That certainly has to make the Rams feel good coming into this one.
Huge win. I talked to Coach Rich Sutherland, who's now in his 5th year as the coach of the Rams, and you know they're still in the hunt. It's a tough uphill climb, but you know that's the starting point. Knew they had Darien today. I think a beatable team. I think New Canaan's a beatable team for Darien as well. You know they're both kind of in the same spot, but it does give them hope, and that's worth a lot.
The free kick here for the Blue Wave on the far side of the field.
So set pieces have been a problem for New Canaan this year, defending.
As Jonathan and I have talked
many
times before, set piece is such an integral part of this sport.
Yeah, and Charlie Sears really does deliver the ball quite well. That's great goalkeeping right there.
Yep.
Yeah, Sears has some great deliveries even from the halfway line of the field. I mean, he's just putting them in the box. Anything can happen. Yeah.
Jack Richardson, New Canaan's keeper back there. And the Blue Wave on the attack again here.
Jack's dad is 6'4", and I told him a few years ago, I said, you know, if your son goes the way you did, he's going to make a great keeper. It's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I remember when we played back in the day, Damien, the standout player for New Canaan was the keeper. He was a guy who was actually on my team when I was a kid. His name was Scott Levine. He ended up playing at UConn.
Sure, remember the name.
Still there.
Still there. So he's a captain, I believe, if my Facebook if I'm reading it right.
And he's not a big guy. Not a big guy.
No. So Scott was small, but I remember, you know, when we were playing with him, he was just, you know, the hardest working keeper that I've ever played with on a team. And New Canaan back in the day, you know, they had a lot of very good players. There's one, John Luke Ferrandino, who I played with a little, and playing against him was very difficult. Although he did get a red card in a very difficult state loss, I think, to us. Very important game. But yeah, New Canaan was rich with quality. As I'd say, we had a lot of quality back then. I think these are two young teams trying to rebuild. But Nick, it is good to see a player from the academy system coming back.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sure there's going to be some solid growth. Looks like two young teams out there right now.
You know, you're talking about Levine. Levine could kick the ball in the air from the ground about 70, 80 yards. He
had a lot of technical ability.
He would take a lot of set pieces for New Canaan, even though he was a keeper, because he was that good. Still a terrific keeper.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if he goes professional, because I can't think of many players from the FCIAC who've gone professional recently.
Boy, you talk about keepers in the varsity girls game yesterday at Connor Field. Darien's Chrissy Fiore and New Canaan's Jordan Patterson put on a display. Both keepers coming up big, faced a number of shots, tested early and often, and here is Marchin trying to chase this one down for New Canaan.
That's very nice composure by
Darien,
Canaan.
rather.
Good composure, yeah.
Yeah, Chrissy Fiore was really impressive when I watched her in the the War game.
Back
Alex
post.
Clare to the back post, and that is number 16 for Darien. Blake Somi puts it in off the rebound, and Darien is on the scoreboard.
That is a really nice goal.
Yeah, Darien took advantage of a defensive lapse. Put it back post and.
Yeah, I really loved the header.
There.
Really loved it. It was a great cross, and I love the header by Will Harmon as well. He could have looked to shoot, but he saw Somi back there and decided to pass that ball back, and obviously a great finish by Somi. So Darien was on the back foot, but that's the nature of the sport. Things turn around, and now New Canaan needs to be searching for that goal.
Goal 17 minutes in to the first half.
Well, I told you, Nick, because I'm a lucky charm. I've been commentating and seeing a lot of goals, and New Canaan has an opportunity here.
Oh, speaking of opportunities.
I know, that was...
Oliver Crookenden on the end there. He was just about a half a second late getting to the party.
Yeah, very good whip ball in. And I think that was the first of many rough tackles we'll be seeing today. I'm a little surprised that wasn't a yellow card, but you know, these rivalries, physicality is always going to be a big factor.
Especially as the game wears on.
And there it is again. Well, the New Canaan captain getting really stuck in back-to-back fouls here. I don't think he's no nonsense from him. And another Charlie Sears set piece. They've been so dangerous. I remember, Nick, the game at Stanford. I mean, that was really Darien's way of scoring.
That's a dangerous spot on the field right here.
Yeah, it's very tough to defend. The goalkeeper's will have trouble with his box. I mean, New Canaan's just got to make sure that ball doesn't get past the first defender.
I don't think his son's bothering him too much, but it's...
And another great delivery. And that could be a goal. There it is. Wow. And Blake Somi again. Well, it's fantastic delivery by Sears, and Blake Somi with a really nice guided header. New Canaan had to get the first touch on the ball there, and they didn't. Now it's 2-0. No, I didn't seem like the sun bothered him that much. It was a fantastic delivery.
Perfect.
No, it's got to be unfortunate. I mean, you know, to be honest, Nick, watching the first 20 minutes, I feel like the New Canaan looks like the better team in terms of the quality of the play. But Darien have had 2 chances and taken them both.
Yeah, this is unusual for New Canaan. You know, we've seen this maybe against Stanford, which is understandable, but generally the defense has been pretty strong, particularly against fairly equal opponents. I think you had 2 issues there. You certainly had a defensive lapse on the first goal. On the second goal, I think you're right. A perfect serve. I think the keeper might have been able to come out a little earlier from his line, but
yeah, I mean, it's
tough. It's a tough situation because the ball, you know, he had his own teammates in front of him, essentially blocking his way. So that's how good the serve was.
Yeah, I mean, those kind of services put you in no man's land as a keeper. You got to make the choice, but you got to be committed. You either got to go for the ball completely or stay in the goal, and he was halfway out there, and that allowed the header to chip him as well. If he'd stayed in the net, that header probably wouldn't have gone in. So you have to commit one way or the other, and I think he got a little stranded. But as he said, with a delivery like that, it's very tough to do anything about it.
It's early enough in this game that New Canaan can certainly get back in, but they really need that next goal. If they were to go down 3-0 here, that's pretty tough against any opponent.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely think New Canaan have a very good chance of getting back in this game. They look like a strong team. You know, gotten a little unlucky. And, you know, as I told Damien in the last broadcast I did, a 2-goal lead in soccer is often one of the most dangerous ones. You can get a little complacent, think you're playing quite well, and New Canaan can strike back very quickly. Yeah, I gotta say, New Canaan has complete control of the midfield despite the scoreline. They've been really dominant there, and Darien's got to lock it up because I see a lot of space for New Canaan. You look at that; they got behind the midfield again.
This is their quarterback right there, number 10, Stephen Curiale. You referred to him earlier. He's a captain. He is a physical player.
Yeah, it was a nice ball through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have a leader, especially one in the midfield. It looks like he's kind of taking the game by the scruff of the neck. Darien definitely needs to shore up the midfield, or else New Canaan's going to have loads of chances as the game goes on.
Nice touch.
Thank you.
Alex Sirico's doing his thing.
That's a great ball out.
Darien packing it in there.
Yeah, New Canaan did good to keep the ball on the ground there. A little bit of a bad delivery, but if they keep control of the midfield, I think they're going to be getting chances.
Of course, they do have a 2-0 lead, so.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world to pack it in right now. I'm sure John Bradley's not too upset with his team at the moment. But, you know, it's not sustainable. I mean, there's, now 57 minutes of soccer left in this game, and the reality is you can't just shore it up for that long. New Canaan's definitely going to get one if you let them have the front foot, so.
Stroked it long.
A little bit of frustration between the players.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can have that. I mean, a group of people you cannot get mad at as your teammates right now. I mean, got to stay together here, so. That's a nice ball forward.
Good header. Nice touch by Crookenden.
Oh, good composure.
Yeah,
good composure in the midfield by Elias Vetter. Seems like he wants to be the player on Darien keeping the ball, but New Canaan's still in full control of the possession. Not the scoreline, though. That's a nice ball forward.
And they're just putting it up to Marcian.
That's a fantastic ball through. Great shot, great save. Will Harmon out there.
Good defense by Luke Crowley to pick up the morsel and send it out. Darien could have easily had a third goal there.
Absolutely.
I'm impressed by Darien. They're getting the job done in defense. Yeah, time of possession is probably with New Canaan, but.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Darien do not look like they're leaking. I mean, I still would like to see more control the midfield, even in a defensive way from Darien, but I think overall, you know, obviously they've taken their chances, but defensively they're playing extremely solid.
Good pickup by Richardson. That's a tough ball that was actually sent on the bounce in, even though it was right at him.
Yeah, being a goalkeeper can be no fun. A lot of things that look pretty easy are actually quite hard.
And it's so much the pace is so much faster when that ball's coming in on turf.
And we have a lot of turf here at Darien High School, evidently. I was telling Damien I graduated, what is it now?
2013, class of 2013.
Thank you, Damien, I forgot.
Sorry, I had to jump off with you
4
guys
years
for a minute.
ago.
We were having some issues with our camera. Ball into the box.
Ooh.
Nice save. So we're under 14 minutes left here in the first half. 2-0 Darien in a matchup of these rivals
There's an
in the
opportunity
FCIAC.
right
Opportunity here for New Canaan. Nice run for the Rams.
Well, I do like what Zarigos was doing there, trying to take the game by himself. Damien, we were talking about that. Damien, we were talking about that last in the girls' game against Ward. If you recall, Ward had a very strong player who is going to Wake Forest next year, but she played through her teammates a little too much. Didn't try to take the game on her own, and I think Zarico is doing a better job here of trying in some way to make this a one-man game. I mean, sometimes if you're the best player on the field, you do need to be a spark and try and take it on your own.
This New Canaan program, Nick, plenty of tradition. They've played in 5 state championship matches. Won it all back in 2010, won the Class L state championship. Plenty of tradition. In fact, they went back-to-back state titles in 2005 and 2006.
Long tradition. You know, Rich Sutherland is, as I said, it's his 5th year. The eyes are upon him. He unusually has his UEFA A license, which I think is pretty unprecedented in the FCIAC. He's got his coaching license. He has been upfront in saying that he wants to play the counter, particularly against the stronger teams.
Yeah, I mean, it must be a little tough to adjust when you're usually a counterattacking team and then you're better than another team and suddenly you have to play possession.
Yep.
But I will say that I think New Canaan, they could still get some goals on the counter because Darien right now has a big gap between their midfield and their defense, which I just don't like at all. They're making it pretty easy, but I'm sure if Darien gets to halftime with the score still 2-0, I think John Bradley's going to address that. You know, the gaps in the midfield. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, if you have a coach who's used to a counterattacking style and you're playing a team that you are better than and you shouldn't be counterattacking against, it might be a little difficult to adjust to a different way of playing.
I don't know how Curiel kept the ball there, falling down on it.
How do you get your UEFA A license while you're living in?
It's you know, it's time consuming. It takes literally weeks, many weeks. You have to essentially go away
To Europe?
To Europe,
Wow.
and you know, it's like going to summer camp. And he trained under Jose Mourinho.
No, that's so awesome. For the viewers who don't know, Jose Mourinho, very famous soccer coach, Manchester United head coach right now.
And
That is big for the FCIAC.
famously the former Chelsea coach. That's where he really
He's been around the block.
has been around.
Well,
Sam Rhodes trying to
Yeah,
back pass to 26. It didn't work.
yeah, I mean, if New Canaan want to counterattack, they have to do with more numbers than that. They just have 2 forwards stranded up there. It's not going to work.
So there are 10 minutes left in this first half between Darien and New Canaan. The Blue Wave up 2 goals, 2-0. A beautiful but windy afternoon here in Darien.
I'm sitting here shivering.
Yeah, well, you brought your pullover, so you're prepared, you and Jonathan.
Damien, at least it's not that 90-degree weather we had during the Stanford game. And that was
We
just-
had, when Darien played Stanford, it was about 90 degrees, very little wind.
That's great control right there.
Well, it's a beautiful place to be. It's a really fantastic facility here. Darien should be proud of themselves to have these fields. New Canaan trying to go one up. We've got a $6 million fields campaign that is underway. It's a public-private partnership, and we're adding 2.5 new fields.
And a
Four
half?
fields. Yeah.
What is
We
a
have
half of a field?
Half field is a half of a field. It's a practice field.
2.5.
It's really
You know what's funny? I've been covering FCIAC sports for a number of years here in southwestern Connecticut, and Connor Field is one of the nicest grass fields around. It's a beautiful facility.
Oh, it is so nice.
Not located right on the high school campus, but it's a great facility.
my wish is we always use Connor because it's such a special place. We really the turf fields for the soccer team, the teams, both the girls and the boys are really to gear up for Darien
Yeah.
and the other teams with turf, Greenwich and such. But Connor is gorgeous. Kurt Dasback, who's a good friend of mine, the longtime assistant at Staples, has told me that's one of his favorite fields, and he's played everywhere in the country.
I mean, there's nothing like a good grass field. It's a lot more difficult to maintain, certainly a lot more work, but you know, when you see professional soccer, they're not playing on turf.
Yeah.
But I will say that for the purposes of high school soccer, I think this turf is great. It's much better than, you know, I think some of the old fields we had, which were just, you know, bumpy. You couldn't play on them. It's a huge improvement.
Good hustle by Crookenden to keep that in. It didn't amount to much, though.
Crookenden, I like that name. That is a unique last name.
And his father is English. It's a very
It's a very English name.
name, and so is Oliver, actually.
Well, Darien are locking it down. I don't know. When this game started at 2-0, I expected to see something like 4-3 one way or the other, but Darien really impressing on the defensive end.
Yep.
There's
They
Darien's
haven't made a
Connor
mistake.
Olson.
What?
They haven't made a mistake.
No, absolutely not. You know, I think New Canaan the services from out wide could be better, could be creating a little more trouble. I think they haven't whipped it in as well as Darien have. Darien, of course, got their 2 goals from good deliveries, but that looks like a handball, but we're playing on. But I think New Canaan, they just got to increase the quality of the delivery. I think they're keeping the ball, they're getting it out wide, getting it in good areas. It's just, you know, the quality in the final third. But I expect them to come out second half and, you know, could maybe even get a goal before the second half starts.
That's a good ball right there to Zarikos.
Yeah, he's very good control over the ball.
I think Bradley will be pretty happy if he goes in 2-0.
Well, he'll be thrilled. You know, if there's one coach who can lock down a win with a lead, it's John Bradley. I mean, he just knows how to grind it out. That was kind of the signature of our 2011 very successful season. You'd go up 1-0 against a team that was perhaps better than you, and you just found a way to not concede. And it's not an easy thing to do, but John Bradley, he's made for it.
He's always been good at adapting his strategy game to game, based upon the score, based upon the other team, obviously, based upon the pitch.
Corner opportunity here for the Rams with about 5 minutes left in the first half.
Well, that's a
Into the
better
box.
delivery.
Good ball.
Yeah.
And Bowles comes away with it.
Well, a better delivery.
You're talking about John Bradley. He knows a number of these Rams.
He does.
He's coached them.
He's coached them?
He's familiar with these Rams players.
You know, you get New Canaan, Darien, you're playing against folks from your country club and
Yep.
your yacht club, and you know, there's a lot of cross-pollination. I used to live in Darien.
Travel teams.
I used to live in Darien, but I married a New Canaan girl, so we ended up in New Canaan.
Well, we're glad you're on this DAF media broadcast this afternoon. It's great having
appreciate
you,
it.
Nick.
And full disclosure, that number 4 with the blonde hair is my son, who's a co-captain of the
Oh.
Kent.
Kent Williams, who's the right back. He's Started every game for the last 2 years at right back.
Let me ask you, I'm sure he was excited to play in this one.
Oh, he's always excited to play Darien. If you can't get up for Darien or New Canaan, if you're from Darien, you shouldn't be out in the pitch.
And a great crowd this afternoon here on the campus of Darien High School to watch this one. We are live streaming on the DAF Media Network. Connor Darby running our camera. Nick Williams, Jonathan Gill, Damian Andrew with you this afternoon. 4 minutes left in the first half between Darien and New Canaan. The Blue Wave up 2-0.
Just a beautiful, beautiful day for soccer.
Nice turn there by the Rams.
Sam Rhodes, the other forward, number 27. Zarico's following. He's going to pull it back.
Well, there it is again. I mean, New Canaan playing the ball.
Some miscommunication there, clearly.
Yeah.
Zarico's just gesticulating, which tells me that they weren't on the same page.
Yeah, New Canaan definitely the upper hand in the middle of the field, but the quality in the final third still not there. Can definitely change in the second half.
That'll be a foul. And Darien's had quite a few set pieces.
Yep, and they got a good man delivering them. Here he is again, Charlie Sears. Well, New Canaan have to stay vigilant here. They cannot afford to go down 3-0.
No. They seem to be a little out of sorts, particularly in the back third. Usually their heads are a little bit calmer than I've seen today. I don't know if it's Darien or the pitch or the fact they know they have to win this game if they're going to make the tournament. They need to channel Pirlo.
Nick, you would know this. I believe these two teams played to a 1-1 draw last year, correct?
They did. They did indeed.
Darien clears it out.
And it was a good match, too, at Connor Field. Very, very even. It wasn't where there was one team dominating and, you know, one team was happy with the point. It was a fair result.
Oh, 1 minute left. It looks like Darien's going to be holding on to this lead as we go into halftime. Damian, this is above expectations for the Blue Wave.
Well, I talked to Coach Bradley before this one earlier today, and he was very pleased with the way his team played at
there's an
Loeffler
opportunity
Field
right
against
there.
Staples. Opportunity, Voles corrals it. Goes down and gets a nice save by Voles, the senior, for Darien.
Almost through the 5-hole.
That would have been a pretty poor way to end the half. Nice nutmeg on the goalkeeper. A good save. Good shot as well.
We're under 30 seconds left here between Darien and New Canaan. First half action, FCIAC boys soccer. We are live streaming on the DAF Media Network. And that'll do it for the first half. Darien leads New Canaan 2-0. We're going to take a short break and we will be back with second half action here on the DAF Media Network. We are back here on the DAF Media Network, live streaming this high school varsity boys soccer game between rivals Darien and New Canaan. Damian Andrew alongside Nick Williams and Jonathan Gill. We are underway in the second half. Darien up 2 goals, 2 first half goals by senior Blake Somi.
Yep, very good half for Darien. Surprising. I mean, Nick and I were talking after the half. New Canaan does look like the better team overall, but the reality is that Darien's had the finishes. New Canaan with a couple defensive leaks, which are uncharacteristic of their play this season. And also, I think New Canaan been controlling the midfield well, but in the final third, they just haven't had the requisite quality. They haven't troubled Justin Voles as much as they should. But I'm sure, both coaches had their halftime talks with the teams, and if I had to predict, I'd say New Canaan's getting on the front foot. John Bradley's going to play some scrappy defense, and, we're going to see a pretty wild half.
You mentioned finishing. When Zarikos came to the team, which is, I think, 6 or 7 games into the season, in his first 2 games, he scored 4 goals. 4 goals in 84 minutes. So that finishing was really appreciated. But he's been kept in check today.
Yeah,
And really hasn't had any really good scoring opportunities that I've seen.
Well, Damian, I know this, the 2 Darien coaches, Lee Parsons, John Bradley, they're really good at adjusting their game plan, especially to trouble players. And I'm sure John Bradley's talked with this team specifically about Zarikos and how to play him, and it's definitely paying off.
No doubt, no doubt.
Darien in the white, moving from right to left on your screen. New Canaan in the red, moving from left to right. A beautiful afternoon here on the campus of Darien High School for this FCIAC boys soccer matchup between the Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams, although a little breezy. Little chill in the air.
It's just a beautiful day.
You see the fall foliage there, off in the background.
It's downhill from here.
It is downhill from here in the Northeast, yeah.
Damian.
And this season is, we're nearing the end of this regular season. The postseason will be here before you know it. The FCIAC playoffs and, of course, the state tournament.
And if the scoreline stays as is, neither of these teams will be playing in it, unfortunately. Nick mentioned earlier that if New Canaan wins out, they do qualify for the state championship. But right now, I mean, they just have to focus on this game. Not going as well as they hoped.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great touch. Unlucky on the last one.
It's Diego Sedone, number 7.
John, you've played for John Bradley. What do you think, if you had to guess, what do you think he said to his players at the half, up 2 goals in this one?
I think that mostly it's probably just motivational. I think it was a lot of, saying, you're the better team. Of course he's going to say that and, hang in there, trying to just pump them up. But I'd also say tactically, my guess is that he talked about the midfield and shoring it up. Because right now New Canaan's got a lot of space in the midfield. They're able to play the ball around. And I think that Darien has to lock that down. So that's what I think tactically would have talked about. But overall, I mean, knowing John, he probably just inspired them to go out and play some defense for the second half. And if the first half was any indication, Darien's in very good shape in terms of keeping this lead.
Yeah. New Canaan's still playing with 4 backs. The question will be, as this game goes on, if they don't score, at what point do they send one of the backs up to midfield and play with 3 back? He's done that before when they've been behind.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that for New Canaan because it doesn't look like Darien's really getting the ball up that much, so I don't think it's a huge deal.
The halftime talk from Coach Sutherland probably much different than the halftime talk from Coach Bradley. What do you think he
I
was
think
telling his
what
players?
he's trying to do is get their heads in the game. I'm sure they're still kicking themselves. Look, Darien, give them credit. They took opportunity of 2 lapses, defensive lapses, coming, I think, within 4 or 5 minutes of each other. So that's really tough, from a getting down on yourself. And so he hopefully was able to calm them down and say, hey, look, you're still in this game. There's plenty of time. You got to get that guy unleashed right there, number 26. opportunity here for Darien. Nope. Goal kick.
Goal kick for the Rams.
Yeah, I hope New Canaan come out with this half with a little more camaraderie as well. Damien, I mean, we saw them, I think, Damien, when you were away fixing the camera, they were getting quite upset at each other, which is just, completely unacceptable. So, I hope they've kind of patched that up and they're all going to believe in each other to lift this game.
Nick, well, we have the opportunity here. You'll be interested to know the guy sitting to your right, Jonathan Gill, not only did he play soccer and play it well here at Darien, class of 2013, but he was a heck of a squash player. Played at Columbia, played squash at Columbia.
Well, Nick was just telling me that he went to Columbia Law, so we had a discussion about this. It's pretty crazy, Damien. I talked with Nick for 5 minutes, and believe it or not, for all the youth out there, you do get along with people from New Canaan when you grow up. There's a lot in common. I mean,
it's too bad you don't vote in New Canaan.
Both
certainly vote for you.
Both sides are competitive and want to win, and that's what makes a great rivalry. Plus, geographically, so close in proximity, the two towns.
And believe it or not, there's a healthy degree of respect.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've always noticed that.
And when you have great broad-based athletic programs like both of these high schools do, that just breeds the type of rivalry that it's blossomed into.
Yep. Good play there by the left back.
So that is your son right there, Nick, if I'm not, that's number 4.
That's him.
Well, keep clearing out, yeah.
Trying to get it to Zarikos. It's interesting. New Canaan really hasn't had many good set pieces in the zone. Darien playing a very clean game.
Oh, let's see if you can put a good crossing.
That's an interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. It's Curiel. You will see him, Jonathan, all over the field.
Yeah, I've noticed. Great work rate.
Great. You will not see a better pace and work rate. Sometimes I think he may go too much around the field. But he's trying to, he realizes that foul there.
Look at a handball, yeah. Yep. I mean, well, there we are again. I mean, New Canaan just had the ball in the final third for an extended period of time, and nothing came of it, nothing even close. And so, New Canaan's got to step that up.
Yep. Yep. So Diego Sedon is fast, number 7 there, Jonathan. That's why I think Sutherland wanted more pace in the midfield.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm seeing a lot of individual talent from New Canaan, especially in the midfield. I mean, it's pretty clear that they've been dominant there in the game. Just a shame it hasn't translated into goals. It is a little surprising, to be honest, watching this New Canaan team. I feel like they, not just in this game, but they would have done better in the season overall. I'm curious what's been going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Zarikos is on the team for the first, 5 or 6 matches. No, he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
No, and he was actually declared ineligible at first by the FCIAC because he mistakenly played in a Westchester match after this season started. But he didn't know the rule, and his dad appealed to the FCIAC.
Oh, wow, what a save by Voles.
What a save.
Voles got a finger on it to knock that one away. We're at the 30.
Now there's a set piece, and Curiel typically takes all of New Canaan's.
Well, the delivery's got to be good here. I mean, it really does.
The sun bothering both the defense and the
That's a great ball.
Good ball.
Yeah, Nick, that's a great point. The sun in the eyes of the defense there on that set piece by the Rams.
Sorry, what exactly, is that a penalty?
I think it is.
Oh, that is,
I think it's
wow.
a PK. I didn't see it.
That is nuts. I mean, it looked like a small push to me on a head. I mean,
it's unusual. I actually thought it might be against New Canaan because you see that a lot.
No, I mean, I certainly see it the other way around in the box. I mean, that it didn't really look like much of a scoring opportunity. I don't know if the ref's just trying to put a stamp on the game. That's a very unusual call.
Zarikos will take this.
Well, I'm expecting a goal, but what an interesting turn of events.
See if the keeper guesses. He'll usually go high.
Wow.
Wow. That surprises me, Jonathan. Zarikos in the 3 PKs he's had and scored all, he's gone high.
Well, you know, I can't blame him. That was a perfectly fine penalty. Just a great save. Gets the right way, and the ball's going in the corner.
Yeah.
I mean,
he guessed right.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's a dagger in New Canaan.
I mean,
it's a missed opportunity.
You know, he didn't go with what he knew. I guess he's been blasting it. He tried to place it this time, and maybe a little less pace than it needed. But great save.
Yeah, I think the last two I remember were upper right corner for him.
Well, John Bradley's got to be relieved, and that penalty would have been a real talking point after the game if New Canaan had scored that, because that was a very unusual call in my opinion. But anyways, Justin Voel's the hero. That's the story right now. And unlucky for Zarikos, a pretty good penalty. Just some great goalkeeping.
David Voel's playing well, the senior keeper for the Darien Blue Waves.
Direct free kick here.
Charles Sears, the sophomore, number 30, will take the direct kick here for the Blue Wave.
Good ball.
Wow. Over the crossbar, just sailed over the crossbar. What a ball. Jack Richardson in goal for the New Canaan Rams, only a junior, so he'll be back next year for New Canaan.
And the hope is he'll grow another 2 inches by then.
I was just going to say, both Richardson and Voel's tall in goal. They stand tall in goal for both of these teams.
Yeah, some great goalkeeping. Great goalkeeping. We were talking about Fiore as well on the girls' side, Damien.
Yeah, she's one of the best keepers in the state of Connecticut. Has played well, 8 shutouts, 9 shutouts.
Gets to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, New Canaan giving away too many fouls in this part of the field when you have a person that's dangerous on the ball. I mean, because Darien seem to be more dangerous from set pieces than open play, so I don't really understand why you're fouling.
One thing we've typically seen in this rivalry is that the home field does matter. And I don't think it's because of having more fans. I think it's just because of the pitch. I
totally agree. Yeah,
Darien's done better,
especially if it's grass versus turf. You know, it's not 2 turf fields. I mean, Connors Field is grass, totally different game.
That's what I mean.
Now, when I spoke to Lee Parsons, the Darien girls varsity soccer coach, before yesterday's game, I asked him about the pitch. I asked him about playing on grass and as opposed to playing on turf here at the Oval at Darien High School, and he said, you know what? You got to make do. You got to make your passes a little crisper, a little sharper when you're playing on the grass.
Tell that to the U.S. men's national team. They're more worried about the water on the pitch than beating Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, you know, Jonathan Gill, John Bradley, and I spoke a little bit about that on the broadcast yesterday, the state of the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, the youth system's great, but I'm a fan of England soccer. We have more heartbreak than U.S. soccer in general, so this was kind of surprising to see. But yeah, it's USU soccer is great, and for something like that to happen to U.S. soccer is pretty devastating.
Good shield by Zarikos. That's a good play right there. Chip it. Couldn't get through.
case you're wondering why we're talking about the U.S. men's national soccer team, they failed to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 1986.
And I'm told, although I'll defer to Jonathan since he's the mathematician, that they had a 97% chance of moving through Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Everything went against them.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty nuts because, I mean, the odds they lose to Trinidad are low, and then the odds that Mexico and Costa Rica both had to lose, and they did. It was just a horrific night, and certainly not a very likely event, as Nick said.
.25 remaining. Canaan's really got to get something going. Oh,
wow. And a nice save by Richardson to punch that over the crossbar.
Canaan's lucky it wasn't 3-0 there.
Yeah, Elias Vedder was a nice shot. Now I am confused why that's a goal kick. I'm pretty sure.
Must have said he didn't touch it.
I'm pretty sure the referee's incorrect there. Darien players are a little confused. And it appears the refs are convenient.
Am I
on this
incorrect? Did he not touch it?
No, he did. That looked like
Yeah.
a save to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I think they're having that's the right thing to talk it out.
Yeah, swallow your pride. Oh no, are they giving? Oh god, John Bradley looks a little stunned on the sidelines. And we know that Darien does love their corner kicks. I mean,
well, I'm confused because one of the refs just pointed to the corner.
Yeah, I think I saw that as well.
Discussion.
And
I'm often asked the question, why does the FCIAC not have
3 refs?
3 refs.
Yeah, I agree.
And people say, is it money? It's not money. We live in Fairfield County. Good Lord. That's the last thing.
Yeah, if you can get the turf fields, you can get the refs. I mean,
opportunity here for New Canaan.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, John and I were talking about in the Stanford game, the refs as well. You know, and we just seen a couple. I mean, like I said, I was not a fan of the penalty call, and that's not just because I'm from Darien. I thought it was a very unusual call. So, you know, John Bradley was talking in the last game. We were commentating about the quality of the refereeing, and
the reason why.
Oh, there is a reason.
Is because they can't find enough refs
to
cover the whole league.
That's insane.
Or at least that's what they say. The problem is, I don't know if they're not looking hard enough, but I do know that a lot of these referees have been out here, Jonathan, not only for when you were playing here, but for 20, 30 years before that. But most high school leagues have 3. Have a center ref and 2 ARs.
Yeah, I certainly shouldn't be too hard on the refs when, you know, you're doing the 2 ref system.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's very difficult because you have to be making. You have to not. I mean, the job of the center ref is hard enough, but to be able to do that plus calling offside, one of the most important things in the game. Yep. I mean, and throw-ins as well.
Or even out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
Throw-ins, ordinary throw-ins, it's tough.
Yeah, there's too much to think about. So yeah, it's unfair on the refs. It's unfair on the players. But if that's the state of things, you know, I hope they change it.
I can't tell you how much I've learned just listening to the two of you this afternoon. We are talking some soccer here. Darien, New Canaan, high school boys varsity soccer rivalry playing out on the pitch here on the campus of Darien High School. 2-0 Blue Wave in front. Damian Andrew joined by Nick Williams and Jonathan Gill.
Best sport in the world, Damian.
I appreciate hearing someone say that in this part.
Well, and if people don't think that soccer has come to the U.S., as someone who has season tickets to our local MLS franchise, NYCFC, which plays most of their matches in Yankee Stadium, although they're going to be displaced to Citi Field because of the Yankees making the ALCS. You see it. You go up to the stadium and you see 25, 30,000 people at least for home matches, and it's a younger crowd. It's more diverse.
Well, to have NYCFC and the Red Bulls both in the metropolitan area, that says something right there.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a real rivalry too already, even though it's a young rivalry, not like New Canaan versus Darien.
Yeah, and the professional level aside, I mean,
good play.
You know, I think Nick is alluding to this, is that the sport of soccer for youth is some interesting chances here. It's growing so fast. There's been a lot of talk. You know, we were just talking about the U.S. men's national team, and their star player, Christian Pulisic, was actually playing for a U.S. academy team until he was 15, and 2 years later he's starting for for a top team in Europe. So it's the academy programs, just like the ones Zarikos was in, are producing professional level players now. It's pretty awesome to see.
And here's Blake Somi.
That's a great tackle.
Yep,
On
good
the
tackle,
move.
clean
Nice
tackle.
tackle.
Canaan had some good opportunities down here. Putting the pressure on.
They're definitely putting the pressure on. I mean, it's just all about the finish at this point. You need 2 goals in 20 minutes. Now, is a draw enough for them?
No.
Wow.
Because the FCIAC rule is 40% win ratio. So a tie doesn't. It's not points. It's.
That doesn't really make.
I mean, it could be. They could change the rule to make it 40% wins and ties, but that doesn't do it. And they've got 2 ties, and those aren't going to count. So.
Well, Darien looking very solid. I mean,
Yep.
So.
New Canaan really hasn't had any strong shots on frame. I mean, they've had possession. They've had some good, strung some good passes together.
Yeah, I'd like to see someone like Zarikos drive towards the goal more. I think he's doing well holding the ball up, keeping possession with his teammates. But at some point, you got to turn around and try and fire some
Handball
shots.
that it wasn't called. Yeah, we haven't seen really any 1v1s with Zarikos or any other New Canaan forwards, which I think is a tribute to what Bradley's been able to, to strategize.
You know John Bradley's behind that. I have no doubts. But you came with a lot of great individual quality. The scoreline, maybe not reflective of how the game has gone, but that's what soccer's about. It's about the scoreline. It's about winning, and so hats off to Darien. There's a hustle by Cameron Rea. Damien, you know I like him.
Yeah, you're a big Rea fan.
I love hustle, especially in high school soccer. That's great play from Darien.
Darien pushing here.
Nick, we're under the 20-minute mark here in the second half. Tactically, if you're Coach Sutherland,
Well,
what are you trying to do?
You need 3 goals, right? Almost 4 after that. Good play by number 4.
There it
that
is.
Williams kid.
That Williams kid's a nice-looking player out there.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
Well, that was a bit of an unnecessary save that your son had to make there, though. I think goalkeeper should have had that one.
Sometimes the communication is.
Yeah, it's good distribution though there.
We need to have these guys be louder.
Well, there's the space I was talking about in the midfield for New Canaan. That's a great ball over the top. Oof. That's very good play.
The keeper's solid. That's.
Yes, that is David Voles. I apologize for getting his name wrong earlier, and he's great. Very good keeper.
David, I think that you will see a new formation in the next probably 3 or 4 minutes, I would guess, because keeping 4 back is.
To be honest, I'm a little surprised they didn't change it at like halftime if they need 3 goals to stay in the playoff hunt. I mean,
they may be 3 back now. 16 is usually a midfielder. So I'm just looking. I think he's coming back to play defense, but I think they're going 3 back now.
Well, another foul for New Canaan in the middle of the field, and that means another dangerous opportunity served up by one Charlie Sears.
Jonathan, we spoke earlier that this Darien team, Coach Bradley has shuffled the lineup a little bit here and there the last couple of weeks. 5 sophomores starting this afternoon.
I love it.
The future certainly looks bright for Darien moving forward.
Yeah, it's smart by John Bradley. I mean, when you're out of the playoffs, you got to give these guys experience, and right now they look like they're playing quite well. So,
well, here's one of those sophomores taking the free kick here, Charlie Sears.
Another great ball.
Next up for Darien is Fairfield Ludlow on Saturday, and then a week from Friday, they play their first ever night home game under the lights at Stadium Field. Darien putting in brand new
Historic,
LED
right?
lights. It's been kind of a historic fall for the Blue Wave athletic program. The girls soccer team, the field hockey team, the football team have all played at least once under the new lights here at Darien High School.
I'm wondering what they did to convince the neighbors about that.
That's for another broadcast.
That's a great turn.
Nice turn.
Buchanan, Darien with the better opportunities here.
Absolutely. I mean,
Alex Clare had a chance, just wide of the post.
oh, it was great control. I mean, he definitely created that chance on his own with a really nice first touch. Unfortunately, he didn't get the finish, but yeah, as Nick said, Darien getting his opportunities. New Canaan having control of the game, and then in the final third, they're not generating those chances. It's David Bowles.
Darien looking to win its second straight match,
Oh,
up 2-0 here in the second half against New Canaan. And the Blue Wave attacking again.
I was going to say New Canaan's got to watch out that they don't call a penalty here.
Oh, wow. Very nearly.
Outside of the box, but you know, because you figure what the heck we owe them.
Yeah, this is a dangerous spot, to say the least.
Johan Tripatelli will take this free kick here. The junior midfielder.
Canaan going with at least 4 in the wall. Looks like 4 in the wall.
Far post. Nice save. Nice
The
save
whistle.
by Richardson.
Well, offside there.
Yeah, it's going to be an.
Yeah, good save. He got good distance on that punch out as well, so prevented the rebound.
Rich Sutherland usually goes with 4 in the wall. Some people think 3's better. I don't know.
Not really, yeah. Seemed like it did its job. He had to hit it at the goalkeeper instead of at the wall, but
Wind picking up here, as you can hear it through our mics. New Canaan trying to generate something on offense. Down 2 goals here in the second half.
Yeah,
under 15 minutes left.
well, they're definitely 3 in the back, Damien. We can see that now. Really throwing everything forward. That's a great run.
It is a great run. That's a great, what are they calling it? Goal kick.
Goal kick for the Blue Wave.
Sirikos with the pace on the touchline.
So let me ask you now, Jonathan, having 3 in the back, is that a little like pulling your goalie in hockey?
I wouldn't say it's as drastic as that, but yeah, I mean, 3 is definitely the minimum. That was like a handball there. Well, this just happened. Yeah, I mean, but, you know, like I told Nick earlier, I mean, 3 in the back is obviously a very offensive formation, but the reality is that New Canaan has so much of this game, you know, I don't think it's going to hurt them
Yellow
that much.
card. Looks like 2, number 11.
Do people get
Full
sent off?
camera.
You get sent off for that?
Yeah, the FCIAC rule used to be 10 minutes. You're off on a timeout, like I used to do for my kids when they were young. But
like
now,
like I do for my 6-year-old twins right now.
now in 2013, they changed the rule to make it so that you can come back in with the next legal coming back on the field.
I don't really understand the point of that.
Legal substitution. So
Sean Manzella, I believe, checking in
Yep.
for the Rams.
Yep.
So the guy just subs out for like a minute. I mean, seems a little unusual, but
that's a great
Ball into the
great
box.
serve by
oh, here we go.
Darien.
Oh, looks like
Ricos is down.
yeah. Oh, he looks genuinely hurt. No, he's getting back up. Also, Rico's certainly fighting here.
He went down, and he's more determined than ever since he's gotten back up.
There's a sophomore, Jamie Cutler, in the midfield, the only sophomore for New Canaan on the pitch at this point. Little question for Rich Sutherland for the rest of the season. If they do lose this game today, and they're out of the tournament, will he start playing more of his seniors and juniors?
Well, it seems it's worked well for John Bradley since John started doing it. I mean, quality's been high. On the defensive side, Darien's just been absolutely fantastic. So
The keeper's been impressive too.
totally agree.
Specifically,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting why he guessed right on the PK.
I mean,
Did he see
maybe someone
something
told him.
did he do some research? Did he look in the eyes of Zarikos? Did he?
You know,
Is there a tell? I mean, because as I said, Zarikos has had 3 PKs in the last few games.
yeah, I mean,
So that's on videotape.
I would not put it past John Bradley to just watch the videos. But as we said, Zarikos did do something different. He tried to place it low in the corner instead of blasting it high. But I mean,
Okay, that's
I was going to say, Nick,
a
nice
defensive
ball by
lapse.
That,
Yeah,
nice ball by that Williams kid out there, number 4 for New Canaan.
it was, but Darien helped out by a bit of a defensive lapse, which is, as we know, how Buchanan was scored upon in the first half. You got to take advantage of that. Buchanan with the opportunity here.
Stephen Curiel serves it up.
great
So he
goalkeeping.
came off his line, timed it perfectly.
Nice effort out of David Voles, the senior keeper for the Blue Wave.
Darien just wanting it more in the 18-yard box or the 6-yard box.
The back pass to the keeper. There's Williams near sideline. There's Cameron Rea again, Jonathan Gill, the hustle play there. Nice effort.
They definitely took advantage of a little bit of nervous distribution there from the back by New Canaan. Great hustle. Darien, I mean, really impressive. Just they've played 70 minutes now of just very mature soccer. Not many mistakes. I mean, you got to be frustrated if you're New Canaan. This is a very tough scoreline.
Well, I think it was the second goal and then the failure in the PK. Because the second goal coming on so quickly on the heels of the first goal, I think took a lot of wind out of their sails. And then the PK was early enough in the second half that if you can score there,
Oh, absolutely.
you know, just the dynamic of the emotions changes. And this is always an emotional game.
Yeah, you can definitely see that from the players. I mean, it's going to be a real heartbreak.
Like I said, it doesn't matter what the record is, as we said at the outset. Just
Throw out the records when these two get together.
it's Ohio State, Michigan,
Yep.
Army, Navy,
Army, Navy.
Yankees, Red Sox,
Yep.
you name it.
We're under 9 minutes left in the game. 2-0 Darien, thanks to 2 first-half goals from senior Blake Somi.
Again,
Voles comes out.
if he's playing like that and the corner kicks, you know, the shorty might be a better option there. Put somebody in the flat and see if he can work it in. Because he's timing those saves perfectly as he comes off his line.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. New Canaan look like they really need a clear-cut chance here.
New Canaan really pushing in now. They've only got 2 back. Farley, the center back, playing up.
And that's a good
And
run
now
by
you got
Tripatelli, yeah.
now you got a 3-on-2. Numbers with Darien.
There's Marchin.
It's good team defense by New Canaan. Shadows are getting darker on the field and darker for New Canaan.
I was just going to say that the sun is setting and the shadows are creeping in, and temperatures dropping a little bit more.
Oh,
wow.
Nearly an own goal.
That was almost an own
was
goal.
An opportunity.
Yeah, New Canaan definitely had, you know, that was a 3-on-2 in the box. I mean,
good combination there. And
oh, they're listening to you, Nick. It looks like a short corner, or maybe not.
Here's Stephen Curiel will take the corner for the Rams. And a great effort by David Voles, the senior keeper. And to your point, Nick Williams, Voles has been spectacular this afternoon for the Blue Wave.
I mean, he took him a while, but he got that eventually. We'll see if they have another opportunity where they do the shorty.
Get in there, yes! Get it out!
That's a great play.
Is he onside?
Wow, absolutely fantastic play. I mean, really good composure to pass it around the box. Maybe, as you said there, Nick, it might have been an offside, but
it looked like he was certainly in space all by himself. Now, whether he was onside or not.
And I believe that was number 8, William Dickinson, for the Blue Wave, credited with that goal to make it 3-0 Darien.
Yeah, I mean, the composure to pass it around the 18-yard box like that, or inside the 18-yard box, excuse me, that was great from Darien. Unlucky that New Canaan ended up conceding there with a little bit of a bad bounce coming off a defender, but I guess that just about wraps things up. Clinical from Darien.
Yeah, I mean, New Canaan had 3 corner kicks in a row, wasn't able to, and even more opportunities beyond that, and just weren't able to convert. And they're continuing to press, only 2 guys back, short on numbers, and that happens.
Will Dixon, the senior number 8 for Darien, getting in on the scoring. 3-0 Blue Wave here at Darien High School.
Yeah, I mean, 3-0 is not the scoreline that I think is indicative of what this game's been like, but Darien's taking the chances, and their goalkeeper has just been absolutely superb. But a few pretty pivotal things that New Canaan missed in this game. The penalty, obviously, as you said, Nick, the second goal just shouldn't have been conceded. I mean, this game could have well been 1-1 or 2-1 to New Canaan.
You gotta take advantage of opportunities when they knock, and Darien's done that today.
So
and shown
5 minutes
better
left.
composure, I think, than New Canaan, honestly.
Interesting substitution here, a goalkeeper sub.
So Voles checks out, and high fives all around, low fives. He's had a great afternoon.
And maybe because, Darien doesn't have anything to play for except for the pride, and New Canaan with the potential for a FCIAC berth at stake. That's going to be pretty tough, down 3-0.
Yeah, I can't see New Canaan getting 4 goals at this point, but yeah, it's going to be a good learning experience for them, especially for the younger players.
Wave on the attack again. Looking for another goal. So mass substitutions here for the Blue Wave as they are up comfortably in this one, 3-0.
Got to give the seniors who don't play as much a run against New Canaan. I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah. Chance for them to say, I got to play the game where we beat New Canaan 3-0.
That's a great scoreline. I mean, John Bradley's got to be happy with this one.
All we have now is a clean sheet to.
It's a good ball in, though.
Wow.
Oh, the substitute
I don't
goalkeeper.
know how they didn't score there. Good Lord.
Ugh.
Talk about clean sheet. That was. Seemed like he was diving the other way and
I
was
mean,
able to come back.
I'm not necessarily sure Darien deserves a clean sheet here. A couple pretty, we've seen, I think, 3 opportunities for New Canaan this half, if you include the penalty kick that should have been goals. But
3 minutes left to go in this one between Darien and New Canaan. FCIAC Boys Soccer here on the DAF Media Network. Jonathan Gill, Damian Andrew, Nick Williams with you this afternoon on this live stream, and it has been a pleasure on a beautiful day here in Darien. Corner opportunity for the Rams.
oh,
Off the post. Off the far post.
sometimes, Damien, it is not your day. I think that is what's going on here for New Canaan.
And the JV game going on behind us.
It appears New Canaan has scored in that one. Does that make things any better out here, Nick? Or
Unfortunately not. The only thing would make things better now is hot chocolate. I think David would.
Yes, or a hot cup of tea, absolutely. Under 2 minutes left in this one.
Nobody there.
And that rolls out of bounds on the near sideline.
Oh, all smiles for Darien as far as I can see, and New Canaan looking a little confused right now. How did this happen? 3-0.
Yeah, it reminds me. It's the way that stoppage of time works in the FCIAC is, makes sense compared to other leagues where you don't just have with a running clock. They do stop.
Crookenden, ball into the corner, rolls across the end line, out of bounds.
I believe it's a stop clock in college soccer as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Every second counts, as you know, having played the game, Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things about America. We do love buzzers. I don't see, having, having an English family, the English sports that we play, none of them have these buzzers. In America, we do love it. A nice last-second goal. Have you ever seen it happen in high school soccer, though? I'm not sure I have.
No.
But anyways, the clock not in New Canaan's favor right now, as we're winding down. 30 seconds left in the game. 3-0 scoreline.
Your old coach has got to be happy with this result.
Absolutely.
I know it's been a long season. It's been a long season for New Canaan as well. But to beat your rival is always a special thing.
Absolutely. We said before the game that the record goes out the window. Here it's about this game only, and Darien have got it.
And that will do it here from Darien High School as the Darien Blue Wave knock off New Canaan in an FCIAC rivalry game, 3-0. 2 first-half goals from the Blue Wave, and they get one in the second half as well. Jonathan, some final thoughts from you, having seen the Blue Wave for the second time this season here at Turf 2.
I'm really impressed. I thought that they were clinical, their goals. Obviously, their goals were a lot due to New Canaan's defensive mistakes. But what I was really impressed with is Darien's defense and tenacity out here. They hustled, they fought well. Obviously, David Voles with a real rock star performance. And that's just soccer. I thought overall New Canaan might have been the better team in terms of how the game went, but Darien get the goals, New Canaan didn't finish, and John Bradley was another tactical masterpiece. So very happy.
Nick, your thoughts on this one?
No, I think it's the right result. In other words, I think Darien deserved to take this game. Sometimes you win the time of possession. I think that's true with New Canaan's case, but that doesn't get you much more than a hill of beans. You got to put the ball in the back of the net. Darien was presented with 2 very good opportunities, finished the way they should. I think that put New Canaan on its heels. Certainly emotionally, it was difficult. And the PK, unfortunately for New Canaan, they weren't able to convert. So Darien wins the game, and as I say, deservedly so.
Nick, can't thank you enough for
Thank you. This has
hopping
been
on this broadcast.
Delight to meet Jonathan.
You and
he's
Jonathan.
a terrific player. I remember his playing career.
No, come on.
I've been
I never did
soccer.
much against New Canaan.
Thank you. On behalf of all New Canaan, thank you.
Well, thanks again to Jonathan Gill and Nick Williams of New Canaan for hopping on this DAF media broadcast. It's been an absolute pleasure. For Connor Darby, I am Damian Andrew, and this has been a production of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Have a great night, everybody.